What's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you are all doing well today, man. I really do hope that. So, welcome back to Chelsea News, the series where I look across Chelsea football news media, consolidate what I see, present it to you in a package, offer you my opinion on what the stories are saying, and then, more importantly, ask for your opinion down in the comments section below. And there's a couple of things I want to talk about today. There's been some news reports, perhaps rumours, that in the UEFA meeting today, they could perhaps relax some rules and regulations that could see new Chelsea signings, Hakim Ziyech and Timo Werner, playing in this season's Champions League when it finally does resume in August. What? Hakim Ziyech has long known his season's over. Fair enough, Timo Werner's been playing in the Bundesliga, but we know from a recent video I've done that he's pulled out of Leipzig's Champions League campaign. At first I was like, oh, it's because he wants to move to London, settle before the season starts over here. But is there a tiny chance Chelsea knows that he might be able to register with Chelsea to play this Champions League campaign? With Ziyech? Maybe, but it might all be for nothing anyway, we'll get onto that. Also, apparently Loftus-Cheek has been playing out wide in training for Chelsea, well, also in the games behind closed doors, in case Willian and Pedro don't extend to the end of this season, because they don't have that many days to go to extend. So Frank Lampard has some security on the flanks, some extra players who can play out wide if two of his senior wingers leave. So we're going to talk about that as well. But if you like daily Chelsea Football Club related content, please do consider subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. Hey, only if you want to, man, but if you choose to, make sure you hit the bell notifications icon. That is important. And if you want to help me out, mate, please do like this video. Alright, let's get into it. So let's start off with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, one of my favourite Chelsea players, maybe even my favourite. Carefree Youth, a big Twitter account that watches the youth and Chelsea players closely, tweeted this out. Frank Lampard has apparently been utilising Loftus-Cheek on the flanks out wide in these games behind closed doors. News outlets have also been reporting on this story, and could it be an insurance plan for Frank Lampard if both Pedro and Willian leave prematurely? Well, not prematurely, if they leave when they're supposed to leave and don't do a short-term extension to help Chelsea go to the end of the season. Now, Willian said he would do this. He said he's happy to help the team and he'd sign whatever he needs to do, but he hasn't done it yet. Neither him or Pedro have. And that's peculiar. Just because he said he would doesn't mean he will. Right, so why wouldn't they? Well, actually, there's probably a good reason for this. They're both in their 30s. I think Pedro's 32, Willian's 31. I think they're both probably banking on getting relatively big moves. Certainly Willian fancies himself going to a big club, and they both probably want to sign 3-year contracts, and to do so, they need to make sure they don't get injured in doing perhaps loads of games in a short period of time, like the resumption of football's congested fixture list. You get what I'm saying? They might be protecting themselves, they might be speaking to their agents. The agents might be going, Willian or Pedro, don't do that, mate. You're going to commit to these games, you might injure yourself and prevent the final big move in your career to get that payday and give your family loads of money. I know, you feel like you owe Chelsea lots, but think about it, man! So there's that. There's a danger they have that perspective, and maybe they could be forgiven for taking that stance. Anyway, it does look like Frank Lampard has been playing Ruben Loftus-Cheek out on the flank. Remember, Chelsea have a lot of midfielders. For me, personally, I thought he'd probably turn to Mason Mount, who he has played as a left winger before, obviously this season, and he's done alright out there. And I really do like seeing Ruben in the midfield. Ruben has been played on the flank before for Crystal Palace. He was put out there for a long time. But it never really sat right with me. I've loved him occupying the left centre mid spot, but if he's going to go potentially from left centre mid to left wing, it's not the biggest transition in the world, and it might just mean Chelsea play a slightly different way, where although he's technically in that position, he's not really behaving like a winger positionally or tactically. Do you know what I mean? And maybe, who knows, that could even throw off opposition and work really well for Chelsea with Ruben. With Ruben occupying that left side, coming inside a little bit more as his natural inclination is, and it could work, maybe. Left winger Ruben Loftus-Cheek for a bit. We'll have to see, certainly interesting. I mean, he did score 2 goals against QPR, so it might work, If Pedro does leave, Willian doesn't play and leave as well, it could work. Maybe we see Ruben score some goals in the resumption of football. Exciting stuff. Anyway, I'm going to do a Aston Villa preview in a day or so. to get us hyped for football. Football's back today, by the way. I'm hyped. And I'm going to talk about lineups and stuff like that in that video, so make sure you are subscribed and check by this channel every day. Right, moving on, let's talk about today's UEFA meeting. Dun dun dun. Lots of stuff has been changed, right? Like, the European football leagues have been granted 5 substitutions, which is massive for Chelsea with their strength on the bench. But apparently, this is going around some headlines. I have no way of saying this is true or not. Perhaps it is a conversation that's going to happen in this UEFA meeting. I would not be surprised if they bring it up, but whether the chances of getting it passed, motion passed, or whatever you want to say, is probably super slim. But the subject matter is relaxing regulations in terms of registering players for the resumption of the Champions League in August. Hakim Ziyech has not played any competitive football in a while, and he probably won't. He's probably looking to move to London soon, and when it comes to Timo Werner, although he's still been playing for RB Leipzig in the domestic campaign, he's pulled out of the Champions League squad. I've done a video on this already. It's actually massive news. Go check out my last video on this. Could perhaps Werner know there's a slight chance, maybe someone somewhere in football said, look, there's a chance you could actually help your new club, Chelsea, out in the Champions League if they change these regulations. You and Ziyech could perhaps register, train with the squad, play in the Champions League, maybe. Now, does that mean Chelsea have a chance to beat Bayern Munich with a 3-0 deficit from the home leg? Almost certainly not. I'm going to be real, man. Chelsea have a snowball's chance in hell of succeeding against this Bayern Munich team 3-0 down after the first leg. But maybe miracles have happened. But the truth is, the pressure's off. Maybe Chelsea just want a chance to play new signings in a high-profile game as soon as possible for marketing reasons. I don't know. Maybe it's just like, you know what, pressure's off, Ziyech, Werner. Both start against Bayern. Just have fun. Have fun, see what happens. Well, you know, next season's where it's at. Personally, it's a sensational story, but I don't think there's much good can come out of it. What if this slightly small possibility does happen? They play really badly, and then it's just a bad PR, like the optics of it aren't really good, and you wouldn't, blame them for doing badly in that scenario because of what the game is and the opposition is, and not actually being bedded into your new team Chelsea at all. So for me, it would be a pointless risk. Yeah, even if it is exciting, or would be exciting. For me, I'm just most excited to see the players arrive in London, settle and start training with the squad, and that's probably a more likely scenario before the next season starts. Do you know what I mean? Certainly with Ziyech, I'm looking forward to Ziyech just coming in, seeing him in the training videos, Chelsea publishing him doing some free kicks, or do you know what I mean? Exciting stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm in no rush to see them being dropped into a Champions League game, to be honest, especially one where Chelsea is so far behind. I'd like to see the same sort of players actually play again and just redeem themselves a bit more. Let's be honest, probably go out to Bayern, but at least perform better. There was such a massive gulf in class on that first leg at Stamford Bridge when Chelsea lost 3-0 that you just think, play for pride, man. Score a goal. Do some good defensive actions. Don't let Lewandowski and Gnabry just carve you out down the middle. I mean, it's easy enough for me to say that. They're probably the best team in Europe at the moment. But still, I am buzzing on the arrival of Hakim Ziyech and Timo Werner, who both are really looking forward to arriving at Chelsea. The next season's team's going to be absolutely incroyable. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens, man. To be honest, after Willian said, I'm going to stay, I'll of course help Chelsea to the end, he'd maybe have said that a little bit too quickly, and his agent got on his ear saying, don't commit to that. We're trying to get you a move to Tottenham here for a load of money. Do you know what I mean? Jose Mourinho won't want you doing that. With Pedro, it's a little bit different because he's a little bit older. I think, I don't know, it could happen that neither of them stay, and perhaps Frank's like, you know what, fine, go, I'm ready for it. I've got Mount, I've got Ruben who can now play on the wings, I've got Pulisic, I've got Hudson-Odoi, there's youngsters as well. Tino Andrin can probably be pushed out wide. And we'll have to see what happens, but Willian did say he'll stay. Anyway, I want your thoughts and opinions on that. What do you think will happen? How do you feel about the possibility of Ruben playing out on the wing? Do you think it's wasted? Do you think it could work? If he's scoring 2 goals against QPR, who knows? Maybe it's his new vibe. Get down in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. Also, do you think this whole Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech story of this meeting's nonsense? Do you think it would be a bit of a pointless risk as well? Express your thoughts on that stuff stuff down in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed this video I've given for you guys today, please do like the video. That means a lot. And also, quick plug, why not follow me on social media? I'm trying to get a little bit of a following on Instagram. Obviously we're doing so well here on YouTube, and a massive thank you to all you guys who've subscribed to help me get over like 63,000 subs or something now. Absolutely incredible. I'm trying to get quite active and interactive on Instagram at Football Yannick, so please do consider come following me and we can chat on Instagram or whatever. Anyway, that's enough from me, you guys. Enjoy the football that's literally happening tonight, and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.